Yep.
Hi, I'm Tyler Milchap with Verve Marketing Design, sitting here with Diane Lemonides.
Hello, hello.
We're going to be going over branding today, and it is week 4 of Morning Coffee with Verve Marketing Design.
Thank you for chiming in. So week 4, wow, I don't know how we got 4 weeks in already.
I don't either.
So I guess you have a couple of questions for me in how Verve Marketing Design does branding for businesses.
So my first question is, how do you come up with a company's logo and their brand, and how do you just come up with startup or a already active company?
Like either a startup or an established business?
Yes.
Yeah. Great question, Tyler, thank you. So I'll go into answering that to help the audience here understand the difference between developing a logo and doing a full branding program. So a logo is just one part of a company's brand. It's the visual mark. A branding program is the attitude of a company. It's the way a company's presence is in all of its media outlets, all of its social media outlets, its print material, its advertising campaigns, its phone messaging, its logo, as well as if you're at an event, t-shirts for the event, its tagline, etc. So how we get at a company's brand is we ask a lot of questions. We really try to get at what that business is all about. What does it stand for? What kind of attitude do they want to have? Who is their ideal client, and who do they want their ideal client to be? If you live where we are in the greater Philadelphia area, there's a business, a coffee shop. It's a fast food place called Wawa. I always use this analogy. The difference between Wawa, the Wawa brand and the Dunkin' Donuts brand, everyone knows the color palette of Dunkin' Donuts, and everyone here in PA knows the color palette of Wawa.
Oh, Eastern PA.
Eastern PA, that's right. And they each have a different attitude. And if those brands mixed up their color palettes and they changed their processes internally in the way that they serve coffee.
And just the whole look and feel of the company and the outlet.
The whole experience. It would be, you wouldn't know where you were. So it's really important that a business has its brand buttoned up across all channels of that business. So that's really the difference between a logo and a brand. A logo can simply be a mark on a mug, and that's just a company with a logo. But if it's a branding, it's a cohesive image, message, feel, and experience.
So how do you,
that helped? Did that help?
Yeah.
Okay. Hope it helps you guys.
So how do you know if a company is going to like their logo and their brand that you propose to them?
Yeah, so we actually don't just kind of propose a brand to a business. It's an unearthing process, and I know I've used that term unearthing probably in every one of these one of these videos, but it's really what we do. We don't know really if they're going to like it, so what we do is we ask very specific, very targeted, very customized questions to help us deeply know what that sensibility is of the client. What's their threshold for change? What's the kind of attitude that they might be looking for, and what we believe the attitude needs to be. So we ask those questions so that we get a lot closer to the final design that we then present to the client. And I have to say that we typically tend to hit it on the mark.
And if we don't, we just go back to the drawing board.
We do it again.
Not an issue.
That's right.
So, for an example, can you tell us a little bit about one of our past clients and how we created their brand for them? Could you tell us about Corner House in New Hampshire?
Sure. That was an interesting client that we were working with. We just did a rebranding program for a restaurant, a historical restaurant in Sandwich, New Hampshire, and we did it for the Corner House Inn. The location is in a historical town, as I mentioned. It's not an inn any longer. It's a restaurant. They don't have rooms, haven't had rooms in many, many years. So under the new ownership, we went up to the area, met with the owner, talked about who their ideal client is, what the attitude was, what the changes they were going to be making
And just the whole feel that they wanted this restaurant to have.
And the experience, being that it was historical, they wanted to continue with the historical, circa, I don't remember the year that it was established, but we had to put that in there. That was very important. We also didn't want it to appeal to just the summer clientele, which was a much more affluent clientele, to the regulars who are going to be at the bar and listening to story hours and stuff like that. It really needed to cover the gamut. So what we did was we asked questions. We got a feel for the area. We experienced the area. Read through many old documents about the area as well as the restaurant, and then made our proposal, which we presented 3 different concepts that were kind of all similar, and we then took it from there. And it was you can actually look on their Instagram page. It's the Corner House in Sandwich, New Hampshire.
Well, thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Branding with Verve Marketing and Design. Please like, subscribe, and follow, and let us know what you would like to see next.
Thanks for chiming in.